Thank you so much for joining us. So just to give you a bit of a brief introduction of the purpose of the webinar, I'm sure you would have seen that in the splash screen, but effectively we've been engaging with the team at CO3. Obviously, many of you are both CloudQuote and BPO or Nucleus clients, and the purpose of our discussions with them is to create a more cross-pollinating sort of environment between the applications. We're looking at two potential integrations. The first integration is a basic integration in which we push accepted quotes from CloudQuote into Nucleus BPO in order to create seamless sales orders and eliminate sort of that manual process where a lot of you creating sign-off sheets or deal packs out of CloudQuote once a quote is accepted, and then manually populating that information and creating the sales order in BPO Nucleus.
So I have just set up in advance a couple quotes on the CloudQuote side in the various statuses being draft, active, accepted, and rejected. Our primary focus quote will be quote reference 7775. I'll detail why that will be the primary reference that we're referring to in the demo today. But I have preloaded these quotes just to demo on the BPO side when I get there, the various statuses of the quotes as we move along the CloudQuote process and how it replicates into the BPO process as well. So to commence, I'm going to just quickly open up our 7775 and just give you some insight on how this quote has been set up. So our client name, just bear in mind, is if there is no direct mapping between CloudQuote and BPO based on the account code, customer name, or VAT number, there will be a generic placeholder used for this specific client. So CB Technologies does not exist on the BPO side, and I will show you on the quote when we move to the BPO side of things. You'll see how the placeholder populates for the client name. Under my option details for this specific quote, I have our various part codes that I've mapped in advance. So I've got part number for this Task Alpha refurb. Likewise with the accessories, all this is configured on the CloudQuote side. I've also added a custom product with some custom accessories and a custom service product. There is no part number ABC 0012 on the BPO. So that part will also just be assigned a generic placeholder, which then the sales administrators can go and edit on the BPO side of things. So from here, we obviously have our various statuses, and the fundamental of this integration is that the quote is accepted on the CloudQuote side, and that creates a new quote in BPO where the generic placeholders can be amended before converting to a sales order. So from here, I am just simply going to go and accept this quote for the customer, marked as accepted, and we can then proceed to review back to our dashboard. Okay, so from there, I'm just going to quickly pause my sharing of the screen and move along onto the BPO side of things. The CloudQuote accepted quote has now posted through, being our 7775. So as you can see, our CB Technologies did not pull through. We didn't have a direct mapping between the two systems. So if I'm just going to go and quickly edit this quote, and you can have a look on the Nucleus side here, we can then proceed to select the various customer that this quote was intended to. So let's say that this customer is merely just a lead on the CloudQuote side, and we haven't captured the customer information on Nucleus or BPO. We will then proceed to add the customer information under the master file record under our sales module and proceed to link that customer to this quote. So for today's purposes, I am just going to select customer 2 and allocate the relevant contact information. Now, as discussed, I did populate with our generic custom products that we had here. As you can see, I did not assign it a part code on my custom accessory and my custom service, as well as our custom master product then populates, all with the quote item type other. So this allows the sales administration team to just access the item type, and they can then go and populate that line item with the respective item code for that certain custom product. Just a note is that we won't be able to convert to sales order if there is an other quote item type. So it's just a fail-safe to ensure that we're obviously capturing all the relevant information on the BPO side. So from there, we've now captured all of our items, changed the item types from other, and populated our unit prices. These item prices pull directly from CloudQuote. So the commercial details you set up on the CloudQuote side, then we'll post the pricing through to BPO, and the unit cost will then pull according to what is configured on the BPO side. So as you can see, our main warehouse having 145 Rand unit cost for this specific part code, it then reflects accordingly. Apologies about that, I obviously missed that. So our contact, I don't have a contact name in there, apologies guys. Anyway, so from there, our sales admin team have confirmed that the details are correct. They're happy with the pricing as per what's being pulled through on CloudQuote. They've removed all the generic placeholders on the quote. They can proceed to click save. Following that, the process from CloudQuote to BPO has been complete, and the rest of the team can proceed to go print the quote. If you're wanting to use the BPO templates, if you're wanting to use the CloudQuote template, that's already been printed on the CloudQuote side and sent to the customer. The customer then confirms they've accepted, you post the new quote to BPO, and we can then proceed to convert to a sales order. So that concludes the fundamental process of the integration.
The idea here is just creating a seamless flow. So rather than creating a manual step or process with the documents, the sales, the deal pack or the sign-off sheet or whatever it is that you refer to in CloudQuote, creating that and then having your administrator, your BPO administrator, capture that in BPO, we're effectively doing that directly through the integration itself.